Hi, CMattDye here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's video. Hopefully you're having an awesome day. And I wanted to talk about the markets. This is our technical Tuesday, but it is on a Wednesday. Yes, I'm a day behind. That happens. So let's get into it. First of all, this is the total market cap right here of the crypto market. And you can see it's basically gone sideways since pretty much June of last year. So it's pretty much gone sideways. Yeah, a little bit higher, a little lower, but basically sideways. So I want to start out this video showing the S&P 500, this US market, and then we're going to jump into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. So let me pull up the S&P 500 and we can talk about it. So this is what I talked about last time. I talked about this being a W, X, and possibly this being a Y, which it kind of seemed like it was. And now I'm thinking this was an A, a B, and a C, or a W, X, and a Y. It really doesn't matter. But this is corrective move up, nice little flat. And now we're going to get another move up from here. Is it going to be a yellow ABC? Is it going to be a yellow WXY? It really doesn't matter. What matters most is we're looking for a move higher. Now, does this have to take out the low? That's really the next point I'm getting to. So if the S&P 500 takes out 3970, then the answer is most likely no, unless it's going to do so very correctively, which makes this a W, X, and a Y. So that would be perfectly fine. But that's really what I'm looking for right now. I'm keeping an eye on that level, 3970. Is it going to take that out? Is it not? And keep in mind, this is the S&P cash. This is not the futures contract that I'm looking at right now. So if this is able to take that out, then I would say the probability probably lies in moving higher. So it really matters how that is going to happen. Let's jump down to the hourly chart just so we can see the most recent price action. And looking at this, it's kind of ugly. It's kind of ugly. So I would think from here, maybe it comes up a little bit and then gets some more rejection and then comes down one more time. That can happen, and really just kind of have to wait and see, just because this is a little bit ugly right here. So because it is so ugly, we'll check out the 15-minute, and it's pretty much just as ugly. So this kind of just confirms the ugliness right now. So really we kind of just have to wait and see what's happening. This move here looks decent, but this move here is ugly. So I would think if it can come up, gets rejection, maybe comes down one more time, and that should bring it into that area. Let me clean this up a little bit. That should bring it into this area down here. So anywhere from 3740 to 3800, 3805, anywhere in there can find support, and that's really what I'm watching for. I'm expecting to find some support down here. It looks like this is not done yet. It's going to come down a little more, so that's what I'm waiting on, and I think that's a pretty decent buy from there. Now with that out of the way, let's jump into Bitcoin and talk about a couple things. So we had a lot of interesting stuff happen. We had the Silicon Valley Bank have a lot of trouble. We've had another one have some trouble. Government came in and did a bailout. That was very interesting. They're trying to say it was not like the 2008 bailout. It is basically the same thing. Instead of printing money to do a bailout, they pulled up from a fund that they had printed money to put in to do a bailout. So take it for what it is. But what I'm looking for, I had this on the chart last time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And some people have this as a 4 and this as a 5. It's possible, but it seems a little overreaching to me right now. But this is what I'm seeing right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is obviously a W, X, and a Y. Nice corrective structure down, and now it's moving up very, very impulsively. What am I looking for now? I'm looking for support. right in here, anywhere from 23,150 to around that 22,260 level. So anywhere in that zone, I'm looking for some support. If it was to break that 21,000 level, maybe something else is playing out. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to jump down to the hourly chart just so I can look at it a little bit more closely. I don't know why that was hard for me to say. So if we're looking at this, I'm seeing this as, I already messed it up. Hold on. Start over. All right, so I'm looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, do you put your one over here? Do you leave it over here? It really doesn't matter. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And then this lower time frame would be something like that. And then make the degree a little bit smaller. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now, is something like that. We'll move this down so we can see it better. All right, so this is kind of what I'm seeing. And from an Elliott wave perspective, then our next step is looking for this to come a little bit lower. At the moment, I think that this is not quite done yet, is what it's seeming to me. Yeah, this could turn around and go a lot lower right now, but at the moment, it's just not giving that vibe. So if we can draw a couple trend lines on here. Let me copy that. Oh, I meant clone. That's what I meant. So let me clone that. And we'll just direct it like that. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. However, it does kind of look like it's not quite done yet. And we would be looking at something similar to this. So this is kind of what we would be looking for. This B could be over here. This B could be over here. That's kind of the question right now. It looks like, you know, this is an A leg here. I think that's pretty apparent. And then this could be an A, a B, and a C. This could be an A here, a B, and a C. You know, really, because it's not breaking down, this is not a C leg. So I think we're still inside of this B structure, which could propel it up a little bit more. And that would be totally fine. Right now, this kind of is where we're at until we're not anymore, because this can easily be a WX and a Y, which means this doesn't have to be a straight leg down. If this is a B, you know, this can be a little bit more corrective and still move lower, and it would be okay. It is still possible. It's possible that this could be the A over here. It would be kind of weird. It would be like a WX and a Y that's not done yet. So the A would be over here, and then you would get that corrective move up followed by a move down, and it should bring us right into that zone. At least that's what I'm looking at right now. So I think Bitcoin's looking very, very interesting, and I was really just kind of waiting to see what was going to play out. So at the moment, I don't really see a trade, but it is starting to get very interesting. So that's what I'm really keeping an eye on there. Next, let's go to Ethereum and talk about what it's doing. Okay, so Ethereum is kind of doing something very similar to Bitcoin. Let me go ahead and remove that line. However, it didn't make a new low over here, which Bitcoin did, and that's why I have it labeled as an ABC structure. And the C would be truncated in this case. So what this can be is C can be a lot higher, actually. So C doesn't have to in here. And since Ethereum's doing the same thing Bitcoin is doing, it does look like it can go higher. So the way I have this lined out, I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And I can move that possible C leg up that, probably isn't really a C leg. It's probably the start of a C. So that's possible right there. So we have an A, a B, and we're looking for a higher C. What would that look like? Well, that would be somewhere up here, somewhere between that maybe 26 to 3,000, somewhere up there. And I'm just saying what I'm seeing on the charts right now. It does look like that's what's playing out. So this is our 1. The C obviously can be up here somewhere. And now we're looking for some support down here. So this ends the impulse right here. And this is obviously, corrective down, because after this massive move up, the only thing it can be, if this is still correction, which would be the same thing as Bitcoin, it would come down, find support, come up again, and then it would get rejection and come down again. That's the only thing. It has to have a partner leg. It can't end like this. That just doesn't make sense. So let's go to the hourly chart and zoom out on this. And it's basically the same look as Bitcoin. So this is the end. And this made a low just like how Bitcoin made a low. If we jump over here to the Bitcoin chart, you have a low here. However, it's not as low as it is on Ethereum, which is interesting. You see Ethereum is a little bit lower. So if we look at this, we're watching this zone right here. And after this move down, that's very interesting. I would look for a move higher here, find rejection, then we can get another move down, ideally right into that support. And that kind of coincides to what Bitcoin is looking like. I'm thinking from this structure here, B's not finished yet, it comes up and then it moves down again. So I'm thinking the exact same thing for Ethereum. That's kind of interesting. So if we're looking for higher, how's that going to look? I think that's going to be choppy. It's going to be ugly. But then once it gets there, it's going to look nice on the way down. That's what I'm thinking. So that's really, what I'm waiting on. You had this structure that was very, very strong. And then it kind of broke it here, took it back. And then when it broke it here, it tried to hold on and, just some selling ensued. And now I think it's going to come up and come back down. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch, but it's getting very close to time to step in the market. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with that. Now over to Cardano. Cardano looks good and ugly at the same time. And it really started, it just kind of took off. And because of that, it's kind of difficult to really look at in an objective manner. So one thing I'm watching down here, let me do this little box. That didn't really work out. Is like right in here is what I'm keeping an eye on. So you had, if I scroll down here, you had this triangle here. And then price broke out of it, had rejection right in here, and now it's coming back down. It had rejection right up here. That's normal and actually expected. That's good. And now it's coming back down. It's coming up. What am I expecting here? I'm expecting it to actually support and come up a little bit. I'm not trying to have the same analysis as Bitcoin and Ethereum, but that's just what it looks like looking at the daily pattern. Now, if we jump down to the hourly real quick. Let me fix this chart. Let me scroll in. And this is kind of where we're at. This was actually pretty interesting. A little ugly looking, but we can definitely get a 5-way move out of this. Something like this. So we can count something like that. Is that strong? Well, the move against it is actually pretty strong as well. So I think whatever connector leg we have to this is going to be the end. And then we're going to get resistance and it's going to come back down. So that's kind of my expectation, just because it's come down so quick and in an ugly fashion. I think because of that, we have a better chance of a corrective movement. Yeah, you can count an impulse out of this. Yeah, that's fine. But, this is not as corrective as I would like. So if this does get a partner leg, maybe it comes up, finds that rejection, then I wholly expect it to come down and find support somewhere down here. If we jump back to the daily really quickly, I expect that because we have this move. I think this move needs to have another one attached to it, but I don't think this corrective structure is done yet, just because this is actually pretty weak to the downside, and that weakness I think needs to be siphoned off a little bit. And to do that, price needs to just move around, go sideways a little bit, come higher, come lower. And that's what it needs to do. So even though I can get an impulsive count off of the hourly, I don't have massive amounts of faith in it. Like, I wouldn't just blindly buy this right now. I think it needs to come up a little first. Maybe it needs to come down again and then move up again or something like that. But right now, this is just ugly move to the downside. So I don't really trust this. And I'm just kind of waiting on it. I want it to show me something before, I can enter. This looks to me like it's probably going to find support, come up maybe around 39 to 37.5 cents. And then we can get that rejection down. It doesn't have to make a new low, but if the higher it comes, the better it will be. So like, let's say it comes between 39 and 41 cents, somewhere up there. That would be good. And then when it comes back down, it doesn't have to make a new low, but it can find support anywhere in there. So that's kind of what I'm watching with Cardano. I'm just kind of watching it. Nothing really stands out as super exciting, but it could. So that's what I'm really waiting on. This coming week, the rest of this week and next week should kind of give a clue as far as Cardano. Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think, are actually a little bit closer. So those are my thoughts on that. If you have anything different that you would like to share, hit me up in the comment section down below, or you can join the Discord link down in the description and share that way as well. I also have my own project if you want to check that out while you're in the Discord, or if you just want to share trades, that's cool too. Whichever one. So with that, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time today. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you around the crypto markets. Take care.